Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Sheldon, and this is Behind the Enthusiast. Today, we are talking about two models that I kind of skipped over this summer because I was super busy, and those two models are the CVO Street Glide and the CVO Road Glide. So, let's get into it. Now, first things first, there are a lot of details to go over, so I might end up missing a few of them, and if I do, you guys can point it out in the comment section down below. Or if you guys need clarification on something, feel free to leave comments for that as well. And I'm going to include as many photos as possible to kind of highlight all of those new features. Basically, we're starting completely from scratch. We are going from the front of the motorcycles, so the front fender, the engine guard, all the way through, right back to the rear fender, the lights, saddlebags, everything. Now, to start things off, we have the CVO Street Glide at $52,399. This is MSRP, straight from the website, Canadian, by the way. And the CVO Road Glide, a little bit more money, $54,299. Again, this is MSRP. I'm just reading this stuff off of the website, so anybody can go and get this information. If you're in the US or anywhere else watching this video, be sure to check your local websites or dealerships for current pricing. Now, two paint options. Now, the basic one, so this is kind of like vivid black, you know, for every other model. We have dark platinum with bright smoked satin pinstripe. That was a mouthful. Now, this thing, there's been some mixed reviews from customers in the dealership, and personally, I love this color. It looks great on both of these models. However, some people want something a little bit more flashy, and, well, of course, you can get a second paint option, and that would be Whiskey Neat with Raven Metallic. Now, this one is gonna set you back a little bit more. Okay, a lot more. $7,500 Canadian on top of that MSRP. Now, to give you guys an idea, that means the CVO Road Glide now jumps up to $61,799. It's quite a bit. However, we are talking about CVOs, and CVOs are top of the line performance, motor, everything, right? Paint. So you are getting a lot of bike, and this year is probably an exception to the rule because there is just so much on this list. I mean, literally, like I said, from front to rear, so many changes. And so one of the initial changes that you're probably not going to notice, this is probably the one that is going to go unnoticed the most, if you ask me, and that is the weight reduction. They actually trim these bikes down. So we have the CVO Street Glide has shaved off 31 pounds, and the Road Glide 35. Now, I'm not entirely sure where they shaved all of this weight off of, but could be materials, could be just the way things are designed now, but 31 pounds and 35 pounds respectively, which is pretty dang good. So that's something that you guys may not notice, or maybe you won't notice at all sitting on the bikes. 30 pounds on average, you might not notice. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other improvements. Looking at these bikes, they're completely different. Front fairings, for example, you have completely different lights, completely different shape. And of course, we're going to have some people who are saying, oh, well, it looks like they copied Indian motorcycles. Well, as I've said before, Harley is first. Harley didn't need to get revived. Harley has been around since the beginning. Indian motorcycles technically was dead. So the only thing they could do is copy Harley-Davidson. And Harley-Davidson is just doing a natural progression on their models. So who copied who? Indian motorcycles copied Harley. We're just progressing with our designs, and they look great. I actually love the fact that the turn signals are integrated into the fairing now. We don't have anything that's kind of like sticking out. Not that I was opposed to having the bullet turn signals on the bikes. They actually look really sharp. However, this new design is more aerodynamic. They classify this as improved aerodynamics. There is adjustable air deflectors, which well, they're supposed to help with rider comfort, so a lot of that wind that you would normally feel coming around the fairing, that is the improvement that they focused on. And of course, there's also a new windshield and fairing vent. So this is also adjustable, this is the center vent, and this is on both models, so it's not just one or the other. And this is meant to reduce the helmet buffeting by up to 60%. This is on a comparison to the 22 CVO models, so keep that in mind. Now, moving back, we've got that front fender, which is supposedly different. I couldn't really tell from the videos that I've watched or the photos that I've seen, but then we had that fairing. And next in line is the fuel tank, and you still have the 6-gallon capacity, however, it is longer, leaner, and also has a pop-up fuel cap, which I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about. So we've got a lot of changes. The emblems, totally custom as well. The pinstriping as well, all those elements tied in. And we've also got new saddlebags, which there's been mixed reviews on them. And I think aesthetically, people probably just aren't used to them yet. However, I personally like them. I like how they have this 3D shape to them. They're not just boxes tacked onto the bike. And the funny thing is, everyone thinks that because we have more angles at the bottom, we actually lose storage space, which is not the case. There's actually more storage. I don't have an exact number for you guys, but there is more. And again, this is compared to the previous CVO models. The one huge upgrade is going to be the engine, a 121 with VVT, variable valve timing. Now, I'm not going to get into what all that stuff means. I'm not a big techie guy, but if you want to dig around on the website for all that stuff, go ahead. Now, this is a very long list. So, we've got new high-performance camshaft, a new 58mm intake manifold, and we've also got new exhaust. So the mufflers, they're 4.5-inch design, and they look really, really sharp on the bike. I believe they are a black chrome. I think it's black chrome. Could be smoked chrome, but I'm pretty sure it's black chrome is what it's classified as. And I believe this was introduced last year or the year prior. It came on, I believe, the blue CVO. And honestly, a lot of people have been asking for this when they come into the dealership. They say, hey, can I get that black chrome? No, you can't. So this is meant to be something that is specifically on the CVOs. However, some aftermarket companies like Chromeworks have actually come out with this system, and they are now offering it. We actually ended up ordering one in for a CVO already, and it sounds good, looks good, really nice exhaust, and you know, everyone just wants more sound, and no matter the bike, no matter what you guys do for the exhaust, everyone's gonna want to put a louder exhaust on it. It is what it is. Now, moving away a little bit from the aesthetics, we have a new cooling system and radiator fan. We have a new shift drum design, which is meant to help you guys find neutral a little bit easier. And going into performance, we have a new front suspension, which is a 47mm Showa inverted fork. The new rear suspension, again, it's Showa, and this is using the emulsion technology, shocks, and coil springs. We also have the rear quick adjust preload knob, and I find that most of the bikes now are probably going to have this feature just because it makes things so simple when you want to make adjustments, and they're actually claiming that this is going to accommodate up to an additional 100 pounds. Now, they say that it's meant for cargo. However, you can use it temporarily for a passenger, so added weight of a passenger. I'm not saying that you can only put a 100-pound passenger on the back. That's just crazy, but that's what they mentioned. That's their number. So might have to do a little bit more digging into what the actual max capacities are for having a passenger on there, but 100 pounds in addition. So I think it's meant more for luggage. Obviously, you guys are going to have to ask one of your salesmen, if you call them up and say, hey, how does this suspension stuff work? So be sure to contact your local dealership to get a little bit more information on that one. And of course, with suspension, we have brakes. We have new Brembos, front and rear. And the front, because we have those inverted forks, it almost looks like they actually pulled this feature right off the Pan America, which is kind of funny how technology from an ADV bike is actually being moved over to, the Grand Touring models. But I'm not entirely surprised, because this should help a lot with the handling of the bikes and with, the performance of the motor and horsepower and all the technology that is going on to these bikes. You really need the best of the best on the bike, and that's definitely what they're doing with these offerings. Now, wheels, you have the 19-inch front wheel, 18-inch rear. These are cast aluminum with the black machine cut finish. These are spoked wheels. And we also have a new handlebar on the CVO Road Glide only. It is wider, it is flatter bend, and it also allows 27 degrees of adjustability. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that. I don't know if that is raising your hands upwards or downwards. I'm not entirely sure where that angle is coming from, but that's what they mentioned in the information on the website. And you've also got a new seat for both models. The shape has changed. It's supposed to help with your spine or something like that. I briefly read over it and I didn't quite understand what they were getting at, but I know they mentioned something about your spine. So obviously they're, worried about your riding comfort, which is great. And you also get adjustable brake lever, which is nice. So that's a nice added feature. And then you have this crazy brand new 12.3-inch TFT display running the Skyline operating system. This is brand new, I believe. And the rider modes, or ride modes, I should say. There's just so much technology, so much going on there. And I know that some people have complained already since purchasing one of these new models that they're having some issues. And as far as I know, it is mainly software related. Obviously, with the new Skyline operating system, this basically massive tablet on your bike now. Everything is touchscreen, and you're bound to run into some issues. And obviously, Harley's working as quickly as possible to work out all the kinks, and that's just kind of par for the course. The first model year, you're bound to have some problems. However, the benefit of getting this bike is they're going to take things seriously. They're going to be working on fixing your bike as quickly as possible, and you're going to be first on the list for any recalls or anything like that. You are going to be first on the list, which to me is a great benefit. Obviously, you're going to have the rider safety enhancements. Those are all included on the bike, and there's just so much technology on the bikes nowadays, and this list was massive. So hopefully I got everything. If I didn't, obviously you guys can let me know. But looking at the bikes, when I saw the teaser photos, which someone leaked, I don't remember when that was specifically, but when I saw those photos, maybe it was just the angle that the photos have been taken at in the factory. The bikes looked a little bit weird to me. Now, finally, now that they've actually been officially released and they're being sold, seeing them in person, they don't look awkward. They don't look weird at all anymore. They actually look super, super cool. and we have a couple of them in the showroom right now. We actually have a customer's in the back, and anytime that I would be walking through, I would be checking the thing out every single time. Every single time. I just couldn't stop looking at this thing, and it was a Road Glide. I believe it was the CVO Road Glide, and I actually prefer the Road Glide over the Street Glide, and so I just couldn't take my eyes off this thing. I'm just looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, thinking, this thing's actually really, really nice. And although I'm not in the market for a CVO, probably never will be, I can still appreciate them for what they are, all of the work that goes into them, and this is by far the best, well, CVO ever. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, but obviously next year we're going to have some new paint or something, but in terms of technology, I mean, this is such an upgrade. You know, the motor and the VVT and all these different features, ride modes, the tablet that's on the bike now, all touchscreen. I mean, they're really going all out, and honestly, I mean, there's a reason why Harley is #1 in their market. I think it's #1 in all of North America, if I'm not mistaken, and there's a good reason for it. I mean, what they're offering, what we're offering at the dealership, I mean, it's just crazy good stuff. And yeah, I mean, I love these designs. They're great. The turn signals now incorporated into the fairing. I mean, truth be told, guys, I am all about safety. The more lights that you can put on the bike, the better. LEDs, you know, and these things are crazy good looking. I love the styling, you know, the improvement with the aerodynamics. They have done so much R&D that I don't even know about. They probably don't even tell me everything, but all the information that I've been trained on and I'm trying to, you know, give out to you guys in this video, you know, I might have missed a few. It is just so much to go over, and if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below, or if I can't answer it, just go to your local dealership and bug a salesman, because they probably have a notebook with the Q&As written down already, prepared for you guys. So let me know what you guys think of the new CVO Street Glide and Road Glide for 2023. They squeezed them in for the end of the year, and then of course we're going to have 2024 models coming up very soon. So if you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button so I know that it's working. Comments and questions, you guys know where to leave them. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on future content on the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.